Tom Murphy going to join us now.
Speaking of big brands, Tom Murphy's with us now.
Arkansas Democrat Gazette, Whole Hog Sports. Tom, we were talking about ticket prices for this game. Lowest one I saw right now on Vivid Seats is $151, not including fees. How much do you think people are going to pay to get into this game on Saturday in case they don't already have a ticket?
Wow. Holy smokes and good morning, y'all. I did not know that. I didn't know about that. It just depends on how badly they want to be a part of the crowd. Certainly the way Arkansas basketball is playing has made them a hot ticket, and people want to be a part of a winner. And that Auburn game was just fantastic with all the drama that there was in it and overtime. And I think since this Tennessee game, Arkansas can really start getting separation, in the top four for the double bye if they can win this home game against Tennessee and hold serve and beat Kentucky and LSU at home in their last game. So I don't know how to project what people will pay, but I anticipate it's going to be very close to a full house.
Yeah. Tom, do you think baseball opening weekend, especially on Saturday, being before the game, starts at 12 o'clock, do you think that'll have any impact on attendance inside of Bud Walton Arena? I know that's where you'll be at.
Yeah, I think I'll be covering the baseball, and then I might swing up to basketball. Depends on how the game goes. I mean, it could, but I think the people who are here for the basketball, they might drop in on baseball, but they'll make sure they get over to Bud Walton in time. And I don't see how they have less than 19,000 in the building on Saturday.
I think it'll be north. I think it'll be north of the full house of 19.2, but won't be the record crowd they had against Auburn. So, I mean, to me, what the price is on StubHub or Vivid Seats is inconsequential. I think the crowd's going to be great regardless, and a lot of people pay face value because these are the games you bought your season tickets for, right? I mean, if you don't go to this game, the Auburn game, the Kentucky game, why'd you even buy tickets? These are the ones that most people live for, right?
Absolutely. I mean, we are in crunch time, and it's a beautiful finishing stretch for Arkansas fans. Think about the fact that the last four are Auburn, Tennessee, Kentucky, and LSU, and it looks like LSU's playing a lot better right now. So, I mean, that's the cream of the crop in the SEC, man.
All right, so let's talk about the game. We saw against Auburn, with Walker Kessler, they had trouble keeping him off the glass, and he still got his points. But how do you deal with the size and the front line that Tennessee's going to bring in here, led by Fulkerson?
Yeah, and that's trouble. And they got that other dude, the other tall guy who
Plavic.
Like they can, yeah, and they're both really good rebounders. They can block shots. So, Jalen Williams, has to stay out of foul trouble. This could be a game where Kamani Johnson has to go in and give you valuable minutes and work the glass. Tennessee also can go three guards, and so they got really fast guys who can break defenses down. So this is a tough assignment for the Razorbacks. But one thing that we know Eric Musselman and his staff will do is they game plan, and they'll put themselves in good positions to rebound, to defend. A lot of things Eric Musselman talked about yesterday. If you get a blow by, you're J.D. Notae. The Tennessee guards are so fast, they reach in behind you and tip the ball into the teeth of the defense. So there's a lot of things to be careful of, and obviously Tennessee's riding a big high, having just beaten Kentucky at home, and I think they've got their SEC win streak up to 6 or 7 games now.
Yeah, it's actually all the way up to 8. They've been flying around in this conference as of late, and you just mentioned the Kentucky win. They're going to be running it high on Saturday on that one. And you look at the SEC standings, Tom, Arkansas is currently in 4th. They're up 3 games from the next closest person behind them. Tennessee being where they are, tied with Kentucky, and then Auburn top dog. When you look at how the Tampa tournament's going to shape out, this is just a big game for the conference standings, and Arkansas could get a leg up on Tennessee heading into that final game in Knoxville to close out their regular seasons.
Yeah, it'd be important to do that because of Arkansas's finishing schedule being so tough, and Tennessee's was too. But they already got one of those games, which was Kentucky, and so yeah, this is a big game for positioning, for how the folks in the national the media view you. Not that matters, but and another thing Musselman pointed out was that the way Arkansas's finishing schedule is, if they just win a few, their net ranking isn't going anywhere, and will probably improve because all the teams they play are very high. I think all are in the top 20 or so in net rankings now that they're past the Missouri game.
Yeah, because what is 6 games left? You've got 20 wins already on the books. 20 used to mean you're in the tournament for sure. I think Arkansas is, but Tom, this could end up, I think you would like to be somewhere on pace for maybe 24 regular season wins before you go to Tampa.
Oh, that'd be, if they got to 24, that would, I'm not saying that they could, lose out and make the tournament, but I think it would have to be close to that because their net ranking will be strong. But you don't want to win out at home. I think if they win out at home, they're in fine shape. And if they get the double bye, and there's no way you get left out of the NCAA field if you make the double bye in the SEC this year. And quite honestly, the way they're playing right now, getting some secondary scoring from Stanley Amude, who's really lighting it up from the wings, I don't anticipate them having any kind of, major stumble down the stretch.
And I just look at it from, if you want to make sure you get the double bye and be in the top 4, this home opportunity against Tennessee, who's right there just ahead of you in the standings, is so critical because you can't be in a tiebreaker situation where they have that sweep edge over you, and you got to win these home games. So, just from a tiebreaker standpoint, from a seeding in the conference standpoint, I think a win against Tennessee could be the difference between 4 and 5, but there's a good gap right now between Arkansas and LSU in the standings. So this would give you a little breathing room there.
Yeah, and it would, and it's necessary because the way LSU's playing, I know they've got some decent tough games left, but not like Arkansas' schedule. Mm-hmm. So, like I say, if you beat Tennessee on Saturday, it puts you in such a good position to, you're tied with them at that point. You still have to go to their place. If you beat Kentucky at home and LSU at home, then I don't think there's anything that prevents you from being top 4 if you just went out hold serve at home.
You mentioned you were going to cover baseball some this weekend. It's the season opener. I know we got wet weather across most of the listening area today, but it's going to be cool but nice this weekend. What are you looking for this opening weekend as Arkansas rolls it out for the 22 campaign?
Well, the opening of baseball is always and it may be cold, but it's always such a page turner on your calendar. We're into the outside sports now, and they've got questions at pitcher. Is Connor Nolan going to be the guy who, we saw glimpses of in 19 and 20? Can he be, the anchor in your rotation on the weekends? What will Jackson Wiggins look like as a starter? Looks like he's going to get a shot at being a weekend starter. And then the depth of the batting order. I went to one of the recent scrimmages, and Michael Turner hit an opposite field home run. A couple of guys, they had Braden Webb and Lanzilli, the 2 outfielders. They had them on the second team, and both of them homered off Nolan in that game. So I just think the depth of their batting order is going to be really fun to watch. What kind of defense will they get? Who's going to be the center fielder? The outfield battles are just going to be tremendous because you got Borafin, the transfer from Oklahoma. You got Slavens, who's in the outfield, Webb and Lanzilli. You got Zach Gregory. So, and then what is Peyton Stovall going to look like at first base? And by the way, Caden Wallace tore it up in the fall and in this spring deal and playing third base. He was really tough to get out. So there's so many really neat questions about this team. How deep will the pitching staff go? You got guys like Zeb Vermillion and Cole Ramage who pitched really well in the scrimmage I saw. What depth can they lend you to your pitching? So just a classic Dave Van Horn team, a lot of strengths, and we know that he'll be pushing good buttons, and they're going to be a tough team to beat. Illinois State is a really challenging opener, though, because they won a midweek game against Arkansas in 2020, the year that got shut down.
This doesn't have anything to do with the games, but it's just going to feel different with Arkansas in the other dugout on the first baseline this year, and people will be in new seats. It's going to have I think some getting used to feel for the first few weeks there at Baum, and this will be the first weekend, and they're down to Texas. But everything's going to be a little bit different this year at Baum Walker.
Yeah, fans, it's just a natural human reaction. Fans are going to be looking in that third base dugout sometimes to see DVH, and he's not going to be there, and the team. And we walked down that tunnel during our tour of the facility. It's a magnificent palace, a great structure. They funnels right into the home dugout now. And it's funny, talked to Steve Holm, the Illinois State coach, about this. And he's like, yeah, they're not scheduled to tour the facility, but if I was him, I couldn't help but say, hey, can we just get a quick walk around here? But he's like, I told the guys, act like we've been here before. And, you cannot be in awe of anything. So, but it's going to be very appealing even to the opposing team to kind of see what all is involved with this Hunt facility. And they've set themselves up for great recruiting, which has, been a consistent, and, strong finishes.
Yep. Well, Tom, enjoy the games this weekend. We'll chat with you on Monday and kind of wrap everything up from both baseball and basketball.
Oh, that sounds great. Everyone have a fun weekend.
All right. Tom Murphy, Arkansas Democrat Gazette, Whole Hog Sports with us here on the Morning Rush every Monday and Thursday.